Yeah, I just wanted to get some quick shots of this. Can I stand here for a minute or no?
You can stand here, but you can't go in.
I can't go in. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
I'm only letting people to check on their houses that physically live here.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not letting anybody in.
Okay, so just at the end here is okay.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, okay.
Just don't go in.
And you're National Guard or
National Guard.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Still smoldering on the tracks here. I'm in Napili Plaza, and ICE just showed up here for anybody who needs it. My wife and I aren't going to take any. I mean, our perishables went bad days ago, and there's no electricity as far as I understand. There's not even really any time frame or plan to get the electricity back. Very few people here have generators, and there's no cell reception, so the only news we have is from FM radio. We just get bits and pieces once in a while, and from what I'm told, the water is going to be shut off soon, or at least turned way down from normal water pressure. So anyway, but ICE is here for anybody that needs it. I'm here at S-Turns, which is a famous surf break off of West Maui, one of the best surf breaks out here, and this is a line of people waiting to fill up gas cans. There is a clean and sober biker group, from my understanding, is giving out fuel. There's drums of fuel on the back of a trailer up here, and these people have been waiting for probably a couple of hours for this truck to show up, which has finally showed up here. And these guys up here are volunteering to get people fuel who are running out of fuel. A lot of people are trapped out here because they don't have enough gas to get out of West Maui. And what I'm being told is you can now drive out of West Maui, but you can't come back. So if you need supplies, if that's true, I don't know if it's true. You know, we have no sorts of news out here. But if that is true, then, you know, it's not very useful for the people who live here, who would then be homeless downtown or something. Over here, they're giving out food, water, baby supplies, household goods, toiletries, all that sort of thing. And you can see the beach in the background. You know, still, no matter what's going on out here, it is one of the most beautiful places in the world, which is it's an interesting backdrop to some of the chaos that has ensued out here over the last few days. I'll just walk down here and we can take a look at the beach and what else is going on out here. Looks like they got someone's barbecuing back here. Looks like we got some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and hot dogs, it looks like. And nobody, you know, I've tried to give people money, and you know, most of this stuff is not for sale. I mean, it is strictly being given away. And it's a lot of local volunteers. But you can see here again, I'm at S-Turns out here, which is arguably one of the best surf breaks on the west side of Maui. And you know, even right now, even with everything going on, I've been by Kapalua Bay, I've been by Napili Bay, and there are still people in the water snorkeling, still people having a fun time at the beach. But yeah, most of us out here on the west side, we don't really know what's going on because we have no internet, we have no TV, we have no electricity. There are apparently broadcasts going out at 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. is what somebody told me on all the major radio stations. So whatever you can pick up, that might get you some information. I'm not really sure. I wish I knew more of what was going on out here. I'm doing the best I can to bring you guys footage on the ground and provide you with information to the best of my knowledge. Unfortunately, there is much more to come. The problems out here are just getting started. I'm here at the Hyatt, basically in the southernmost part of Kaanapali. You can see the penguins there are riding out the storm. We have hurricane force winds pushing some kind of very significant fire somewhere through Lahaina. It looks through Maine, like the main area of Lahaina, possibly Lahaina Luna, maybe down in Laniapoko. But there is a huge amount of black smoke that is just blowing out to sea here, and it's a clear day, but yeah, there's just black smoke everywhere, and the penguins don't seem too happy. Normally they're up walking around. Okay guys, I am walking around the Jodo Mission boot at Lahaina on August 11th, 2023. And it's all just rubble and ashes. There's nothing left here. This fire burned all the way to the ocean. And we're making our way to Front Street. What do you think the best way to get over the main Front Street is? Like, so just go back?
We're going to head down that street that we were just walking.
Just go back around, yeah.
Yeah.
All of Front Street is totally destroyed. So I'm going to take a look at that. I wanted to live stream this, but it's not. There's no mobile connection, so I can't. But I'll upload it as soon as possible. Somehow this propane tank has survived. There must not have been anything in it. But I'll be getting a lot of footage today. We have a lot of drone footage that really shows everything that's happened. It's just been very challenging. We don't have power, we don't have internet, and you can see there's just nothing left here in most of these places. So hopefully no one's thinking about looting or anything, but if you are, there's nothing to take. Everything has been incinerated. This is drone footage taken August 11th, 2023 of Front Street in Lahaina. Just below is the Front Street apartments, which were completely burned to the ground, and we are coming up on the outlet mall. Now we're going to go all the way to the harbor. Unfortunately, I don't have power, I don't have access to computer or any of the stuff I normally would put a video together with, so I am sitting in a car right now, just doing a simple voiceover to try to explain some of this footage. We have a lot of it, and at some point I'll edit it together. So this is the outlet mall directly below right now, and you can see, I mean, these buildings had metal roofs, and there was you know, some steel framing, so they're not completely burned to the ground the way that a lot of the wood structures were. The building you can see that is still standing, I believe, is Foodland, but almost everything has been totally incinerated. It's just ashes burned to the ground, just a bunch of rubble. This is the main Front Street where all the shops were, and lots of tourists used to like to walk down this street. And we are coming up on the harbor. From my understanding, everything in the harbor has been burned or sunk. And I really only know what I see, you know, what I see with the drone and what I've seen walking around on foot, because we don't have the internet, so we don't know what the news is. And when you turn on the radio here, at least when I've turned it on, you hear music. You don't hear many broadcasts. But anyway, here is, looks like they've got it roped off, and there's some kind of boat standing guard. And this is a busy harbor that is typically full of boats that are not there, so presumably burned and sunk, I would think. And it's just total catastrophic devastation. You can see up the mountain here, everything burned. And down below you can see that's the banyan tree. That's looks like the banyan tree is still standing, so hopefully it survives. This is what Front Street, Lahaina looks like on Saturday, August 12th, 2023. You can see this fire was absolutely devastating. It burned everything. There's aluminum and glass melted everywhere in the street. And this is where, what I'm told is over 100 people, according to the Coast Guard, jumped in the water right around here. Here's a video I took yesterday on Friday, August 11th, 2023, walking towards downtown Lahaina, Front Street, the main Front Street. I was too exhausted at the time to speak and do a voiceover live, and I could not live stream. So I'm just going to talk over this a little bit, and you guys can watch a 5-minute video of pretty much just raw footage walking down the street and what it's like right now. I would not recommend that people come down here for a few different reasons. There is definitely still a pretty strong smell in the air. The workers that I've seen who are trying to sift through the rubble and presumably looking for bodies and that type of thing, I mean, they have pretty serious masks on. And aside from that, you know, there have been reports of looting and civil unrest. I mean, I saw, you know, a few kind of rough-looking people when I was down here, but I mean, nothing happened. But it might be a good idea to stay out of here for the time being. And you can see over there, you know, there was multi-million-dollar beachfront houses were lost. You know, I mean, I know every house on Maui nowadays is, almost every house is going to be over $1 million, but there were houses that were probably, you know, 10 million that were lost beachside here. And my point of mentioning that is really just, I've heard a lot of people speaking about the fact that a lot of the more low income neighborhoods were impacted by this, but really everybody was. There were certainly affluent people on the beach that lost everything as well, and there are many businesses, I mean, steel structures, the outlet mall, I mean, pretty much nobody that was in the path of this fire escaped unscathed. And you know, there's a lot of things that are going to have to be rebuilt. It's going to take years. And looking at, I think, footage of this and footage before this happened, and then footage 10 years from now, to see what becomes of this place is going to be interesting. So all of my neighbors and I are interested in what the news actually is, because we don't have access to the internet, not cellular, not cable internet. We don't have TV. We do have the radio, but for whatever reason, the radio out here continues to just mainly play music. I've heard very few broadcasts of news, and I don't know if that's just my timing of listening to it, but there's really been very little information. Anyway, here we are coming up on the main Front Street. That little bit of building that is still standing on the left side there is where the outlet mall was, and this is where Front Street meets the ocean. This is kind of the northern little strip where of the area where the tourists would walk. And this is also, from my understanding and from what the Coast Guard has said, where over 100 people jumped into the water to save themselves from the fire. And unfortunately, you know, not all of them made it. I don't know what the numbers are at this stage, but I would expect that with, you know, just as with any disaster of this magnitude, the numbers are going to continue to go up. But it's obviously going to be a long time before the dust settles, before people really even have a full understanding of what happened here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to do my best to keep bringing you the real story, unfiltered, of what's actually going on the ground here. I know it's been a long time since I've posted much on TikTok, but I really only spend any time here when I have something to show you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. I'm here at Hanakauai Beach Park, which is in Hanakauai, just north of Kaanapali here in West Maui. And I have found another area where they are giving out food, clothing, they're taking donations, and there's various household goods, there's blankets, baby supplies, pet food. There was a couple of Coca-Cola trucks. They were offloading various drinks. So anyway, there's people here barbecuing. They're giving out burritos and tacos and meat and hot dogs and all sorts of things. So anyone who has lost everything and is in this area, this is the place with all of the supplies, and anyone who wants to help and who wants to donate anything that people may need, feel free to bring it here. So hopefully everybody on TikTok has been finding these videos useful. I mean, I'm not really able to read much of the feedback. The only way I'm uploading these is by hiking up a hill, which I try to do at least once a day. But we do not have any kind of mobile internet. We don't have any kind of Wi-Fi. We don't have any of that kind of stuff. We don't have power. So doing, really knowing what's going on or knowing what kind of feedback I'm getting with these videos is difficult. I'm hoping that this information is making it out to anyone who may benefit from it. And I'll tell you, information is really one of the main things that we need out here that we don't have, and something I think a lot of people take for granted. But my understanding and the understanding of my neighbors is that there is not free travel in and out of West Maui right now, and that if you leave, they have shut down some people's ability to come back, and I'm hearing conflicting stories about that. But essentially being trapped in a place that doesn't have power, that doesn't have any forms of communication, and not being able to go to the other parts of the island and communicate with people and do work and pick up supplies and all those types of things and be able to get back to your home, like not having that ability, it's almost like we're in a prison camp or something. So it would be really nice if we had that ability, and it would be really nice if there was some clear communication coming through the radio nonstop. I don't care about listening to music right now, and neither does anybody else here. We want to know what's going on and what the plan is, and if we're able to leave our homes and go to the parts of the island that were not affected and then return to our homes. So that information is vitally important and would be appreciated. I'm standing at the Sheraton at Black Rock right now, and after the tourists have been evacuated, it's a pretty eerie sight. Looking at Kaanapali here, there is not a single person on this beach. I wanted to give you guys an update of everything going on here in Napili Plaza. There has been a pretty good stream of supplies coming here on all sorts of vehicles. There's a tour bus. The tour buses are being used to transport bottled water and various other goods. I don't think I've ever seen quite so much bottled water in my life, so that's a good thing. So there's a good amount of water. You can see there's just chains of people unloading goods and organizing them here, and then there's a long line of people behind where I am right now who are here to pick up what they need. So this is how we get our information now in West Maui. Announcements from planes coming overhead. It's kind of creepy. You can hear the Doppler effect. It's a high-pitched noise as it comes towards you, and then it switches to a low-pitched voice as it leaves. So the information from the plane is the information that we are supposed to have. We can't connect to the internet or communicate any other way, and the food and water that it is directing us to is the food and water that we are supposed to consume. We are not allowed to leave our house and come back as far as I am aware. I'm only even able to upload these videos by hiking to the top of a hill each day. Anyway, I'll let you listen to the voices from the sky as the West Maui experiment continues. I'm here on Sunday, August 13th, 2023 in Napili Park, West Maui, and I'm continuing with my efforts to just do my best to show people where to get assistance and where to bring donations. There are many different places like this now set up on West Maui. There was a plane flying overhead earlier today making announcements about Napili Plaza, but that's all the plane really told you about, and there are many other places other than Napili Plaza, which is getting pretty chaotic, where you can make donations, where you can get assistance. And here in Napili Park, which is just up the street from Napili Plaza, this is one of them. So it looks pretty similar to the other locations I've shown in my other videos. If you're in a different part of West Maui, you can check out my other videos, and I try to show what's available, what people are doing, and essentially just show people where they can either make donations or get assistance, or a combination of both. You know, if you have more of something than you need, then you can bring it. If you need something that you don't have, then you can pick it up. So there's really just been an effort here to help everybody who has lost everything, and you know, we're still trapped out here with no real communication to the outside world, no effective communication, no power. We're told the water is now toxic and can't be used. That's what I've been told by several people. But again, I mean, without proper communication, we really don't know for sure. Stay tuned. I'm here Sunday, August 13th, and this is the Gateway Shopping Center in Lahaina. Now, this is an important video. I want to show you where the medical trailer is. So anybody that needs any medical care, there is a Kaiser medical trailer here, and there is almost a full functioning pharmacy. They can treat medical conditions. So anybody that needs anything, just show up here. I don't know how long it's going to be here. Unfortunately, I spoke to several people. Nobody could tell me any kind of definitive itinerary, but it is here now, and hopefully it will be here for some time. Now, this is also another donation area and a place where you can get household goods, water, food, and all that type of stuff. Everybody I've spoken to the person that's in charge of this entire center, and they agree that the biggest thing that we are missing, one of the biggest things that people need out here, and the biggest thing that we don't have, is clear communication and information. So I'm trying to do my part by showing everybody where all of the supplies are, and if you want to help, if you want to drop anything off, donate, if you need anything, this is another option. They have a lot of donated clothes here. There is kind of just an army of volunteers to my left here in all of these tents with various foods and household goods, and these are all volunteers. These are all people that are out here in the hot sun, the baking sun, all day, every day, trying to help everyone. who has lost everything. So please spread the word, guys, and I'll see you soon. I'm doing a voiceover. This is footage earlier at Nepealy Park. I didn't feel safe speaking freely about the situation while I was there, but the police are issuing permission slips for residents to freely come and go to their homes, to other parts of the island.
How long have you guys been in line to get these? 3 hours? Been in line 3 hours, but it's probably longer now, you know.
Okay, I just didn't want to talk over where I was actually speaking live there, but I'm going to walk along the line so you can see there are thousands of people here at this park. There were two separate locations where they told people to come get these permission slips, which would allow them to leave their houses, travel to other parts of the island that were unaffected, and return. Now, one very important thing to note with all of this is many of these people, including us, live approximately 20 minutes away from the fire, and we are very, very far away from any structure or any, any building, car, anything like that that was directly affected by the fire. We watched the fire from very far away, and there was no fire here. Another important thing to note is the power is now back on. At the time, at least where we live, the power is back on at the time that I'm making this video, but we do not have communication, and we have some other issues still. Now, the thing that I don't understand, and I've asked many people who are police, who work for the mayor's office, I've asked them why this is necessary, why people cannot go freely from their houses to other parts of the island that were unaffected and that have medical supplies and other things that they may need, and free communication to the outside world without having to hike to the top of a hill and get to a tower on Molokai, which is what I've been having to do. And nobody's been able to tell me why this is necessary, what the safety concern is with people who live here leaving their houses and returning. But I don't believe anything they tell you about this. I mean, a lot of people have said, oh, the people can do that, but I have interviews of many residents saying otherwise, where they were, stuck in Kihei, stuck downtown, and so you're given this choice, and then they tell you that, oh, well, there's a medical trailer. There's a medical trailer down in Gateway, which is there sometimes and has some things, but it doesn't have the medication that I need. It doesn't have the medication that many other people need. I've interviewed people who cannot get their medication, and they're being given a choice of leave your house without being able to potentially come back and be homeless downtown, live in your car, whatever, and then you can get your medication, then you can get the food you want to eat, then you can get the water you want to drink, or stay here and eat the food that we designate to you, drink the water, get the information that you need. I've actually been told by multiple people when I've complained about the fact that we don't have free communication to the outside world, I've been told all the information that you need is coming from the planes, which is insane. I mean, it's basically, these planes fly overhead and they give you these little 5-second messages, and that's it. That's all we have. And then I've been told, oh, there's free Wi-Fi here, there's free Wi-Fi there. This I have not found. I've been all over the West Side, and at least for me personally and for my wife, we have not been able to connect to any of these Wi-Fi networks with any success. So there's a lot of crazy things going on out here. There's a lot of things that are not right, in my opinion. Please stay tuned.
Issuing residents the orange cards. We ask you that you please fill it out with your first name, last name, and your address. Do not sign on the signature area. That is only for your MPD.
This is Nepealy Park, about 10 a.m., and there are about 5 people at a desk that are supposed to serve half of the city. There is another park somewhere, but I don't understand how anybody could have thought this would be sufficient. It really doesn't look to me like all these people are going to be served. I mean, the government must know how many people live here. I don't understand this at all.
Raise your hand and they can bring a water bottle to you. Right now the line is moving. As many cards as we can issue today, we will go ahead and do so. We do not know yet if we are going to be here tomorrow. So please, be patient with us. Mahalo nui for your kukua and your patience. Thank you.
It's crazy.
Alright. I've just been informed that we are shutting down this placard distribution as of now. Please, there are powers that be. I'm not sure of the reasoning. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. That's all I have for you.
It's just kind of messed up that one unknown leads to some sort of solution, and then that solution's ripped out of our hands and out of our opportunity for people like my landlord who need medication right now.
That's our issue as well.
Yeah,
you know.
So that's what's frustrating about it.
And I was talking to somebody that works directly for the mayor, telling him about I said, you know, we need medication. He's like, oh, you don't need to leave West Maui. You know, they have a Kaiser. And I went down to the Kaiser truck in Gateway. They don't have it's not a full-on pharmacy. They have a few things, but they don't have what I need.
Yeah. People need their medication, so it's not.
And they're being told,
cool.
and you're not even willing to tell me what you know.
I'm going to agree to disagree that you saying me not willing is one thing, because I don't have the information. I will sit out here to go and take a look.
But you work for the mayor's office.
I do, and I came out of.
You're the only one here that said that to me. Everybody's told me to talk to you. Everybody has told me to talk to you. There were thousands of people here that got turned away, that can't get their passes, that can't leave their homes and get medication and get supplies for their children.
But you're wrong in a sense where there are many locations here that already have supplies, including for children. You're also wrong in a sense.
Well, I need a specific medication I can't get.
You're also wrong in a sense where there are medical providers that have been set up. Lahaina Gateway has Mauliola.
They don't have the medication I need.
They have Mauliola Pharmacy right now, and they have Kaiser. You said thousands of people can't get any at all.
Thousands of people were turned away from being able to get a pass to leave their house.
So I'll agree to disagree with you, because I've given you the information.
So we're supposed to drink the water you give us, eat the food you give us, use the medication you have available, and we're stuck here.
I have no idea about
We're stuck here because the police don't know either. Nobody knows who's controlling access to West Maui. Nobody. I've spoken to fire, police people, everybody, and nobody knows.
I'm under the EOC.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know where the command comes from.
Yeah.
But it definitely comes from up higher.
Please. There are powers that be. I'm not sure of the reasoning. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. That's all I have for you.
I want to show you guys what this fire actually did, and to do that I've come back to the place where I filmed the most viewed video that I've posted so far of the Lahaina fire. Now, the original video was posted driving down the street because that's how I had to do it at the time, but now I've gotten out of the car. I'm going to walk and show you a little bit more slowly. Now, this is just north of Safeway on the main highway, just south of where Front Street meets the main highway, and as you can see, this entire neighborhood was totally leveled, totally incinerated. Everything is just ashes and rubble. But the fire did an interesting thing after this. It went across this large, wide section by the train track that's just dirt here. And then it went over a concrete wall that I will show you in a second here. And it went across a 4-lane highway with emergency lanes. And then it burned everything across the street all the way to the ocean.
And you are, I'm sorry, who are you?
My name is Jeff.
Okay.
And all I'm trying to do, I think one of the biggest things here, because we were told that if we come here, we can get out and
this is actually illegal, you know. I think you have to get his consent to.
Is this not a public place that we're on right now?
Okay, I'm a media major, at least. This is what you're doing is illegal.
What's illegal?
You need his permission.
I need someone's permission to film in public? Do I need yours too?
So that's the official answer of being able to come back to West Maui. Try to talk to some more people.
Okay guys, I'm scared and I need your help. So this is going to be the last video that I upload of the day. I have a ton of content that I'm about to hike to the top of the hill and upload, but this will be the last video because it's very important to me that people watch this video. So I'm probably uploading more content about this whole thing than anybody else who's actually here on the ground is able to upload. But there are still many, many things that I'm not able to show, that it's really not the right time to show. I've spoken to many people that were in this neighborhood while everything was being burned to the ground and saw the 100-foot flames, saw what was burning, saw what the catalyst was, how everything went, what the real story was. And most of these people don't want to say anything at all on the record about this. And I found one guy who was willing to talk about it as long as I didn't show his face. But after a lot of the messages I have been getting, I'm beginning to understand what these people are worried about. And I'm beginning to worry for my own safety. I'm beginning to worry for my family's safety. And so I want to speak directly to the powers that be. And, if you watch my other content, you will know what I mean by that. Nobody knows exactly who these people are, but we know that they exist. So I understand that maybe I'm becoming somewhat of a problem for you. And I want to be very clear that if I'm creating a problem, I alone am the problem. My wife has nothing to do with this whatsoever. I'm sure she would rather that I didn't do any of this because we have nothing to gain from it. I am really the only one with any interest in getting the truth out there. So if you need to do anything to fix this problem, you need to do it to me and not to anybody else. However, I will say one other thing, which is I have uploaded this content to a very close friend who is far away in an undisclosed location, and I've also provided them with the credentials to all of my social media. So if anything does happen to me, the story should get out that way. I started an X today, formerly Twitter. I couldn't do Jeff Cygnus. I had to do Cygnus Jeff, but everybody's been telling me to do that, and it'll be a good backup if anything happens with the TikTok account. So please follow me there. I think I might have 8 followers there, and whatever it's been, I think 60,000 more followers in the last day or something on TikTok. So clearly people are very interested in this, and that is really my only motivation for doing this. I have not made any money off of it. And I also want to address this idea that some people have posted that I am a disaster tourist. So first of all, I've been here for a long time. You can watch my first videos covering this or the fire when it's burning. So clearly I didn't fly out here to come see all this stuff. That morning, my wife and I went up to the blowhole, which is the opposite direction, because we wanted to see what that looks like on a day with so much wind. And so we got some cool footage there, and then we drove down the mountain and or around the mountain rather, and we saw a bunch of smoke. And so we drove towards Kaanapali. The resorts were as close as we could get. The road was not moving after that for reasons that are now obvious, that were not obvious at the time. And I got footage of it. So this idea that I'm just here for this is bullshit, obviously bullshit to anybody who can think. And I have been here, killing myself, trying to help in every way that I can. I've helped offload trucks. I've donated work. And this coverage, in my opinion, is very important for everybody involved here, the world in general, but also for all of the locals, all of the indigenous people that have been here a long time. When they do a ceremony in the Walgreens parking lot, is it better if 30 people watch or if 1 million people watch? What's going to get more donations? What's better if the world understands just the depth of the devastation here, or if they don't understand the depth of the devastation? And I have not come across any human remains whatsoever. I have not posted any animal remains, and I have not done anything whatsoever illegal. Everywhere that I have gone has been a public place and has not been blocked off at all. I have drone footage. I have footage of me going into these places. Now, that may have changed since I posted my content and my videos, and it changes on a daily basis. But when I went into these places, I did nothing wrong. So if anything happens to me, whether it's anything legal or anything anything else, don't believe it, and I live a very happy life. I would never do anything to harm myself. If anybody watching this is an attorney or knows an attorney that may want to speak with me and help me protect my First Amendment right and understand what I am dealing with out here in more depth than I am able to really post at this point, I would love to speak with you and get some help and advice. And now the last thing I'll say is every day I will post a TikTok story. It might just be a quick screenshot or something, but if for any reason you don't see that story each day, then something happened, something is up, and I feel like it helps me if hundreds of thousands of people know that.